Minister has just taken off for a jam-packed trip to Southeast Asia. Leaders from around the globe are being pulled to the region for summit season as tensions rise.
Jacinda Ardern will spend all of next week out of the country after a very busy year overseas. Has it been too much, or have the gains been well worth her time? Here's political reporter Amelia Wade.
President Joe Biden, President Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern all heading to the same place, Southeast Asia, at the same time.
Regional tensions undoubtedly have increased.
Tensions rising as three major leaders' meetings are happening in the space of a week. First is the East Asia Summit in Cambodia this week. Biden will be there, but Ardern isn't after another sit-down.
President Biden and I had the opportunity to meet at length earlier in the year. I expect we'll catch up in the margins, but focus for us on this occasion will be meeting those who may be newer to those forums.
Biden will then boost to the G20 meeting of the 20 most powerful nations in the world happening in Bali. There, Biden and Xi will meet face-to-face as they stand off over the South China Sea. Little New Zealand isn't invited to that G20 mega meeting. Instead, Ardern will head to Vietnam for a trade mission.
But it's an area of considerable opportunity. We've seen, for instance, a 43% increase in our trade in Vietnam in just 5 years.
And then at the end of the week is APEC in Thailand and Bangkok. Newshub understands a mega meeting could be on the cards. President Xi Jinping
will confirm bilaterals closer to the time.
It hinges on the scheduling of the three-meeting bonanza, one of which is a very male lineup.
I'm now the only woman at the East Asia Summit, so that weighs on my mind.
Also weighing on her mind is the stumbling state of international relationships, especially in a region threatened by North Korea's nukes and China's increasing aggression. Ardern wants New Zealand to be peacemaker.
Our job will be, how do we drive consensus towards solutions in these troubled times?
Troubled by war, protectionism and COVID. The world's this year opening up, seeing the Prime Minister rack up the air miles, visiting Singapore, Japan, the United States, Australia, Fiji, the EU, UK, Australia again, then back to the UK again for the Queen's funeral, then back to the States again, Antarctica and now Southeast Asia.
We have a very clear message for the world right now. New Zealand is open for business. We're open for tourism. We're open for international education and trade. I see my job as really leading the charge and sharing that message.
Newshub Nation has tallied up all those days out of the country, 62 days. That's just over 8 weeks.
I don't take any decision to travel overseas lightly. For me, I have to have the ability to demonstrate the value to New Zealand before I take that opportunity.
A major factor in the Prime Minister's decision not to go to the COP climate summit was how long she'd be away for.
Means I would be gone for a continuous long period. I would not be chairing cabinets through those periods. I'm very mindful of the length of time I spend out of New Zealand at any given time.
The Prime Minister has spent 2 months of this year out of the country, but it's not been without its fruits. She's secured free trade deals with the EU, UK, won Kiwis in Australia citizenship rights and secured that hallowed White House visit. And so it's wheels up yet again to continue the reconnection mission.